There's so much focus this time of year on parties, dinners, getting into the festive spirit. Well, that's a really tough thing to navigate if you are dealing with an addiction. Holistic Sober coach Amy C. Willis, the founder of Whole and Well, joins us to talk about more about the substance that toll that substance abuse takes.
So, as you know, we're coming off of National Addictions Awareness Week last week, and I thought it would be a great time to talk about what the landscape of addiction and substance use looks like in Canada. It's a really widespread issue. It's something that's claiming more than 70,000 people's lives every year.
Just in this country?
Just in this country. It's costing all of us about $50 billion a year to navigate, with $20 billion of that being attributed to alcohol use. So it's a really widespread issue and one that impacts all of us.
And this is like, that cost is healthcare, it's counseling, it's lost productivity.
Yeah, navigating the legal system if you have a DUI, for example. So the costs are quite significant.
And yet, alcohol, especially, is something that's very socially acceptable.
It is.
And advertised, heavily advertised.
Heavily advertised, and I think in very specific ways to specific people. So women, for example, are marketed to in a very specific way that positions alcohol as a solve to things like stress and mental load and overwhelm and trauma. And, you know, nobody really chooses addiction. People arrive there for a multitude of reasons, and often based on factors that are not within our control. So what our upbringing looked like, if we had a parent who struggled with addiction.
As you did.
As I did, yeah. Early exposure to substances, traumatic events, our own unique brain chemistry, concurrent mental health issues, all of these elements come together and either make someone protected from or more vulnerable to addiction, and we don't usually know until we get there.
And you don't know unless even maybe a family member tells you or a friend tells you, right?
Yeah,
like, hey,
absolutely.
You might have a problem. How do you know when it becomes a problem?
Yeah, and I think we're largely dealing with a dated narrative about what addiction looks like and who addiction impacts. It isn't just getting a DUI or losing your family or losing your job. It's largely on a spectrum. And so I think it can be helpful to really examine what alcohol is doing for you or other substances, and also what the negative consequences are of that substance. And if it's not causing any issues in your life, carry on. But if it is, and you continue returning to it, there's probably a larger issue at play that you could probably benefit from looking at and maybe getting support with.
You've had help, lots of help through support with a wellness circle, if you will, that you've formed through your business.
I did, yeah. So I created something called the Well Circle. So community and connection are such important pieces of this journey. And I created this gathering for sober and sober curious women so that they can come together and share and be supported and be seen in their experiences, and importantly, feel less alone, which is really helpful to reduce stigma and shame when it comes to struggling with a substance.
And how often does the circle meet? It meets online?
We meet online. We meet
in your PJs.
Yes, in our PJs with our tea. We meet weekly as of now, and as the group grows, we'll be adding more gathering times. And then we also have a private chat so we can keep supporting each other throughout the week.
And how do women come to that circle?
They can find it through me, but they come to it at whatever stage in their relationship with alcohol they are at. So we have some folks there who have been sober for 5 years. We have some women who are currently working on getting alcohol out of their lives, and everybody is welcome and everybody is met exactly where they are at.
And you were saying during the commercial break that you find out from so many women that somebody else will voice exactly what they're going through, and that's that great connection, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I find, I think, largely because of those outdated narratives, and specifically for women, so many women internalize their struggles as personal failures or something that they're doing wrong, and so it really reduces shame and stigma when someone else shares a similar experience to yours, because you feel less alone in that struggle.
Okay. all helping as we come off Addiction Awareness Week. Amy, thanks so much for joining us. We'll get all your links up if anyone is interested in finding out more up on our website at chch.com/morninglive.